Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully updated our change profile, right? And right now we can update our username, email address, first name, last name, and then there is another one as a password. So for the password changes, they have the different, like here right now in this video, I want to discuss about that things with you, how can change the password. So if you want to change the password, they have the three different class. If you go to Django same official website and then there is a same page, and with this here they have some of the class I show you for changing that password. Like here you can see there is also one of the class as a set password form. So right now I want to use some of this type of one of the class form. So if you use that set password form, it means a form that let you user change their password without entering old password. That means if you want to change that password, you don't need to put your old password. So if you want to do that type of work, then you can use it without this class as a set password class. Okay, and also they have the another one. As a password reset form. And with this password reset form, if you use it, so this form is a form for generating and emailing a one-time use link to reset user password. So if you want to working like that way, then you have to use this class as a password reset form class. And also they have the another one as a password change form. So if you use that password change form, then that's class actually a form for allow a user to change their password. Okay, so that is actually the one of the class. So whatever the class you will choose, right now I want to working with our this password change form. So if you want to working this form, first of all we have to input this class. So that means in our view, into the view page first of all. So right now we don't need this, I remove everything from here. Okay, so I remove it. So that is our view. That means in our app logging under the view. So into the view area, first of all, here we have to input. After that authenticate form, here we have to input this. So that is our password change form, right friend? So first of all you have to import it. So now we have to create one of the function, and it should be just like that same. And if you already well understand about that concept friend, then it's not be tough for you, because of all here I have used everything as a default, all that functionalities. So right now I want to create another function for the change password. So here also, if you want to change that password, that means this user must have to be logged in. That means a login is required. And then I take one of the function name and I just name it as a password change or pass change. Okay, I then name it as a pass change. And also here we have to pass that request. And then I want to do first of all for changing the password, this user already logged in, right? So that means they have the current user we have to set. So I just take one of the variable as a current user. Okay, current user, it should be just same as a requested user. That means our this request user, right? Here we have to set it, and then we have to load our form. And I load our form with our class name. I have already loaded our class as a password change class. So now with this class we have to load our this form. That is actually default Django one of the form for our password change. So now I take the things with this variable. So here we have to pass it. That means here I have already get our requested user, that will be our current user. I take the things with this variable. So here I simply pass it, right? And then here we have to do the same things. We have to add one of the if condition for our post. That means that will be our form, right? So it will be with our request and then method. With the request method, first of all it should be check that is post or not. And then I want to make our form. Our form will be with our this password change. So that will be our form, our password change form. And with the password change form, here we have to pass that our current user, right? That will be our current user, and then current user our request data. So request and then our post. So I just simply add it. And also this request post, that means when this user actually updated this password, this user already have some of the password, right? So with this password, this user actually logged in. For the reasons here, I want to take our this user current data, post data. I want to take it in particular one of the variable. I just name it as a data. Okay, I name it as a data, and here I take that our this current user post data. I take it with this data variable, and after that I want to check it our form. That means I want to check our validate. So if our form is underscore valid, first of all it should be check it. So if is valid, then I want to save this form. Our form I want to save it. Okay friend, and after that I want to load one of the page. That means in particular that area with the return and the render, and with the return render it's passed two of these parameter. One is the request, another is the appropriate file location. So in our app logging, into the app logging, here I want to create one of the new file, and I just name it as a pass change, pass underscore change. Okay, I just name it as a change.html. So now we have to load it. So better I just copy it. So in our view here it will be from our logging, that means app logging, and then our password.html, that pass change.html, and also after that I want to pass our diction data with the context. So that is our diction data, and to the diction area we have to pass our this form, right? So now I want to pass our key with the form, and that will be our form. So now we can actually load our this form in our pass html that means the pass change.html, right? So now go to our pass html, and here it should be just like our that is our profile, or whatever you would take. Like I just take that logging better. I just copy everything from our logging HTML, and in our pass change here I paste it. So it should be also extended our base HTML and load our crispy form. Then it should be as a password change. Okay, it should be as a password change page, and I name it as a password change. It should be as a password change, and they have some of the form. So from here I have also passed that as a form. So now we can actually use it with the form and the crispy form, and then it should be as a CSRF token, and then one of the button for the change. Okay, or password change, whatever you want. So right now make that as a change. So that will be our password, that means the change. So that is our change form, right? Perfect. So now we have to create one of the URL. We have to create one of the URL for access our this password change. So that means in our app logging, and that is our URL. Here I want to create a new one of the path, and I just name it as a password. Okay, I just name it as a password, and in our view area I have created one of the function, our function name as a pass change. So now I name it as a pass change, and also I name that our path as a pass change. Okay friends, so now let's check this out. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go to our site, and here I refresh it, and now if you go to our this form, that means this one, you can see it's showing as the account and the password. Click as a here is perfectly redirected to our account password page. So that is our old password page, that is our new password, and the new password confirmation. That means our form is now successfully loaded, right? So from here we successfully loaded our in our view area with our password change form. So into the password change from everything, that means our this field is by default ready made. You can see there is a old password and new password, and then our new confirm password. And also here, if you want to do this type of work, when this our password will be updated, then it should be show some of the notification, then you can also do that work. For doing this, we have to work in our view. That means into the view, and that is our password change. That means our function as a password change, and in our current. And after that, first of all, I want to make take one of the variable as a change. Okay, change, and make that as a false. So it should be just like that same before. We have already did this type of work, and after that save data, I want to make that as a true, right? So here I want to make that as a, it should be as a true. So when this data will be saved successfully, then it should be as a true. And when it should be as a true, I want to make our pass our this change data in our context. That means here, after that I want to pass that as a change. I just simply pass that key. So right now we can actually use that our this change in our this page, that means our password change page. So now go to our password change page here. So after this I want to add one of the that means here, that is actually our blog. That means in our body blog area we have to add it, right? So in particular that area I want to put this condition, one of the if condition, if our from here I name it as a changed. So if this as a change, that means if this password is successfully updated, then it should be do one of the work. I take one of the dev and I take one of the alert. Okay, alert class, alert success, alert success, and here it should be display one of the text as a password change successfully. So this type of one of the text it should be visible. And also we have to and this our if condition. I just added as a and if. Perfect. I hope friend you will understand about it, because we did the same things before. So from here, first of all, I want to make that as a take one of the variable, and I just take that our this current user all the data as a false, and laterally when this our form is updated, I make that as a true, and then I simply pass it in our context page, that means in our dictionary area. So now we can actually use it in our password change page. So into the password change page, first of all I put that condition if is charged, then it should be display this one rather than else. I just put as a and if, so that means else it should be display out this portion, right? So when it should be updated, then it should be visible. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, first of all I want to check it, server is perfectly running. Now refresh it again. So right now I'm already using one of the password as a Udemy 12345, right? So now if you want to change it, like here you have to put your appropriate password. So here if you put that inappropriate password, and like here automatically you will get that validation. Like here you can see it's now showing as your old password was entered is incorrect, right? So here you don't need to add any validation. All that validation is ready-made in our this function area, that means this class area, that is our password change form area. So here we don't need to change anything. So now I want to put our appropriate old password right now, that means our current password. So that is as a Udemy 12345, and now I want to change it as a Udemy 123456, as a Udemy 123456. Okay, so now I want to change it. Click as a change. Yes, you can see friend, now it's successfully updated, and also it's showing as a password change successfully. So now if you click as a logout, so that is our logging. So right now I'm logging with the test and our password Udemy 12345. So now if you click as a 5, click as a logging, now you can see it's now showing as incorrect. So now I have updated our password Udemy 123456. Now click as a logging. Yeah, you can see now we can actually successfully logged in. Okay friend, and also from here you can log out. Perfect. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So right now you can actually update your profile, you can update your password, right? So that is 6, click as a logging. So that is our profile, and you can, if you want to change that profile details, that means the profile info, you can change that profile info. If you want to change that password, that you can also change that password, right? So now you can successfully do that work. I hope you enjoy it very much. So friend, I want to continue this process. Next video I want to add one of the image option for the profile. That means this user should have some of the default picture, and then when this user want to update that picture, how can update it. So step by step I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.